Alright, what is up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you from the live Extreme Rules 2014 post show. Man oh man, did we have a lot of fun. I'm going to bring you a lot of excitement to this video because I am really pumped up. I came home, I got here from work, I pressed the little buttons on my Apple TV, boom boom boom, within 30 seconds the WWE Network was on my TV. I didn't have to come home, I was about to pick my phone up, but I'm using my phone to make this video right now. So, I don't know where my iPad is. I was acting like that was a big-ass phone. So I acted like I had to call up my local cable provider. I didn't have to do any of that. My wallet still has $45 left in it. I'm not going to have a huge-ass bill coming like I did for the Rumble or I did for WrestleMania last year. It is awesome. $10. I think that, honestly, this was one of the real first tough tests for WWE. I know that everybody watched WrestleMania, but a good number of people who were WWE Network subscribers would have been at WrestleMania. The hardcore of hardcore, the guaranteed buy people were already at the show, so they weren't going to be watching the show as well. Extreme Rules went off without a hitch on my Apple TV. The only time that I had any kind of glitch that went down at all was during the Kane and Daniel Bryan match where they were fighting in the back after the TV spot, and they were brawling around where the lights were. That the screen went green for a second, but I think that was a work spot to go along with. But this was awesome. This was the game changer. No longer do we have to pay $45 for the show. The WWE Network at $9.95 or $10, however you want to say it, is a steal. This was an awesome thing. I mean, I think a lot of people would have pulled up to the table to get this, just to get the show right here. For Extreme Rules, they would have thrown down the $10 and signed up for their first time as a membership. I don't know why they wouldn't have had, to get that Daniel Bryan special, to get the Ultimate Warrior week, to get those post WrestleMania press conferences. I'm not 100% sure. After the show ended, I waited a second to make my review. I wanted to watch the Daniel Bryan press conference in the back. Honestly, I don't think these came with the same sort of feel as the WrestleMania ones. Daniel Bryan almost was joking around, not selling, the match after getting his ass kicked. I think they did film these after the match. I think this was live, but it just, I don't know. He sort of went in there with a little bit too much of a smile. Maybe he just didn't. Maybe he's just not a good actor. I'm not 100% sure. I got home from work. My shift ended at 5, so basically when I clocked out at 5:02, I was already behind. I have not been able to see the El Torito versus Hornswoggle match. I did read some good things about it on Twitter. A lot of people were more surprised about how good this match really honestly was. We'll have to see how I can watch this, if it's going to be uploaded on the network, if I have to find it on YouTube. One way or another, this will go down, and I am really excited to see it. I got home during the Cesaro versus Jack Swagger versus Rob Van Dam match. I had a little bit of a mess up. It seemed like Jack Swagger sort of didn't kick out in time, and then also everybody forgot that it was an elimination style match, which was added late last night. Cesaro ended up getting the match won against Rob Van Dam. They used some ECW sort of trash can spots and things like that, sort of making this almost like a hardcore match, I guess you can say. Cesaro was not a real big surprise to win this match. They go from there. Alexander Rusev in a squash match beat up R-Truth, killed Xavier Woods. If Xavier Woods goes back to developmental after this and we never see him again, I'm not going to be 100% scared. I thought it was a cool spot. I'd never really seen anybody. Alexander Rusev lifted up the apron and he slammed Xavier Woods into sort of like the steel structure that actually holds the ring up. Pretty cool to see something like that. From there, we went to the Intercontinental title match. Bad News Barrett beats Biggie Langston. Bad News Barrett, who won the tournament that was held on Raw in order to move ahead. Of course, beating Rob Van Dam in the finals. Beating Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler along the way. I found this a little bit of a surprise. I'm hoping that Bad News Barrett and Biggie Langston, this will be the kickoff of a sort of a feud for these guys and see where they go. A lot of people are going to be really excited that he won the Intercontinental title, but at the same time, a lot of times you see these guys, they get stuck with a title like this, like Ambrose. The worst was when the United States champion was Cesaro. Good God, that guy was on a roll. He beat a lot of guys, and all of a sudden he couldn't win a match to save his life, but he couldn't lose the title. I remember being so excited when, I think, didn't Kofi beat Cesaro? And then Kofi lost it to Ambrose. These guys have held the championship so long, it's sort of hard to remember who they won them from. I really can't even remember who Big E beat for the Intercontinental Championship. But then again, like the IC belt and the US title, they don't mean what they meant when I was a kid. They don't really mean anything. It's almost as if like the hardcore title or the European title, if they were still around, what would those things be? I would bet that, you know, Jinder Mahal would be running around with that thing in three-man band. From there, we went to the match of the night, The Shield going up against Evolution. Awesome match. There were bodies thrown everywhere. It was almost to the point of sometimes you were yelling at the cameraman because they weren't showing you the carnage that you wanted to see. There was guys to the left, there was guys to the right, there was guys outside of the ring. It was a cluster. I think everyone's going to remember Seth Rollins. I've officially jumped. I know that everybody in the world right now is a Roman Reigns fan, and that's why I became a fan of his to begin with. You know, Seth Rollins is almost the guy that's being left behind. I think that he's the guy that might have the brighter future. Somebody said that he might become the Jeff Hardy of the WWE, just as long as he doesn't start, you know, dyeing his hair rainbow colors and get, you know, special delivery package to his house from fans around the world. Wink, wink, if you know what I mean. You know, a la, you know, 2010, I believe, is when that all went down. We'll be all right. Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, they're all going to have bright futures. For some reason, a lot of people think Roman Reigns is going to be right now. There's a little part of me that thought we might see some dissension in the Shield. But them getting the wins, they get a, you know, put them in a good spot, and we'll have to see where they go from here at Payback. Especially where we see going with Evolution, because with Daniel Bryan getting the win in his match, you know, we have to see, you know, is this, you know, is this the end of Daniel Bryan versus Kane? And they did the press conference. Daniel Bryan said Daniel Bryan said he might not be done with Kane. You know, maybe he wants more, you know, to you know, put more pain on Kane. It's not if Kane is done with him, it's if he is done with Kane. So we'll maybe have to see if, you know, Triple H, Randy Orton, Batista have to put their feud on hold. We all know they want to be champion, but maybe they want to beat the Shield more than they want to do anything else. You know, Bray Wyatt finally got the win over John Cena in a very weak manner. I guess you got to see Little Johnny. Yeah, Little Johnny came down to the ring, and he was brainwashed by Bray Wyatt. He stunned John Cena to the point that he ate his sister Abigail, and Bray Wyatt was able to walk out of the cage. We all wanted blood. I know we're not going to get real blood from John Cena, and that's, you know, just sort of like an analogy what we're talking about here, but we wanted to see somebody kill John Cena. We wanted to see somebody beat John Cena within an inch of his life, and, you know, get the win, and then we'll have to see how Cena recovers. We've never really seen this. He played Super Cena all night long, and, you know, basically he lost the match. We've seen him lose a match, and he lost, and all the matches I can think of off the top of my head where Cena's lost, he's lost the same way, where, you know, he was in a good spot, and he just, you know, he tripped up, and he lost, and, you know, it's like, you know, we'll see what happens from here. It's kind of weird seeing Bray Wyatt do an interview like this. This is kind of crazy. I don't remember him doing one in the WrestleMania Fallouts, but being a cult leader like this and him just sitting down talking to the press is just beyond weird. I know that they want to make specials out of these. I know they want people watching the network right now, but... Oh, he tipped over the table. That's probably the best spot we've seen. Good job, Harper. That was awesome. Paige beat Tamina in a match that nobody really cared about, and Daniel Bryan beat Kane in a match that I think a lot of people were really surprised about. Everybody's always going to remember that flaming table. I don't think this is a match we're going to look back and see. It might be the starting of Bryan as a brawling guy. He got his spot with Kane where he locked in the yes lock with using the kendo stick that we've seen him use with Orton a few times. You know, they brawled to the back. The tire iron to the head that knocked out Kane is always going to be something that stands out in everybody's mind. I thought they were going to play off a thing where, you know, Daniel Bryan looked at his hands like he couldn't believe that he hit Kane with the tire iron. Maybe he flip out a little bit, you know, going crazy, you know, remembering that Kane was his friend at one point. Maybe they were, you know, maybe Kane's a demon from hell. But, you know, they were the tag team champions. They got along for so long. And they went through so much stuff with Dr. Shelby. Also kind of a surprise we didn't get to see Dr. Shelby and all this. None of this would have made it better. It's just, you know, things that I thought was going to happen somewhere along the way. But this was an awesome show. I don't really know if live streams took a hit. I did search for it at one point, and there were people looking for live streams. If there are people that are cheap enough, that are WWE fans who don't want to buy the network, I don't know what else they have to give you in order to make you want this. I can't make you order this. I understand this, but just I don't know, maybe I have to just make a separate, sort of video where I'm asking for comments from people who aren't subscribers, asking me what you want. Maybe if you are a subscriber and you're thinking about quitting, what is something that you would want to make you get there? I mean, there's a lot of things. I want to see more Saturday Night's Main Events. I own them all on DVD in good quality, but I just am too lazy to go over there and get them out of the case, put them in the DVD player, and flip through them one by one. They're awesome shows. I want to see some Nitro. I think they'll be added on there sooner than later. Right now they're burning through Raws. Right now they're burning through SmackDowns. On the live stream, to me, honestly, I don't watch it that much, but when I do try to check out what's on the live stream, there's a lot of reruns on there. I like to pick my own stuff out of the on-demand. That's a big thing that's a plus for me, but the WWE Network, man, this was awesome. Live stream was a plus. I saw that some people said the PS3, the streams dropped, the Roku players normally dropped, and, some people had some problems streaming it on a live computer. Apple TV is a plus. Costs $100. You can get them at the Apple Store. You can get them on Best Buy. You can buy them at Amazon. I have not had problem number one since day one, people. Apple TV is the thing you need to do. It's a little box. You get a cool thing. I took it on vacation. We watched WCW on the WrestleMania trips. Shout out to my buddy, Instant Classic 8. He made an awesome video talking about the whole WrestleMania trip. I know we're 11 minutes in, but go watch that if you have an hour. It's a good long time, but it's an awesome video. He tells you every nook and cranny. He gives you every story along the way. My video is still coming. I haven't planned out when I was going to sit down for an hour. On my day off, I did all the match previews, and I did my prediction video. I didn't want to give another hour. I gave up all my free time that day, but it's coming. I promise. The Click 30 shoot interview. I'm going to spill all the beans on everything. I'm going to tell you all the pizza we ate, all the strippers. I'm going to tell you about everything, all the booze, everything that happened behind the stage. I'm even going to tell the story about when somebody hit somebody. That's it right there. That's the big hook. Peace out, everybody.